Namaste! Today we are going to explore the little known patterns on British streets. So, there are many different things around the world. Everywhere there is something special. Like, we recently saw a video on our Australian channel that the Australians have a parking sign or a zebra crossing sound alarm for to help all the blind people and all the people who are not like were somewhat disabled to help them cross the road easily. So like people make interesting things out there. So like now there are little known patterns on the British streets. So why are those patterns there and what is the importance of it? I would be very excited to know, because normally you do not like emphasize so much on the streets. It is just a pavement, that's it. But no, somewhere down the world there are people who will think about it and who will make sure that okay, like we should take care of these people and that people, and then they will make something special out of it. So let's see what is the most special thing in the British street.
And for us Indians, streets are always, very special because we create a lot of memories in the streets. We do play crickets in the streets, and we celebrate festivals in the street. We meet each other in the streets. We talk in the streets. So that's the reason streets are very very important in our life. But today we are going to watch little pattern on British streets, and to be honest, I'm so much excited to watch this video. Firstly, because I don't have any idea what these patterns do and are they helpful for the people or not. And when we watch such kinds of video, these are always so informative for us, and we can also and there are many times when I watch such kinds of video and I told my friends about about the United Kingdom, like how does it look like and what is the special things of the UK. So these kinds of videos are so informative for us. So yeah, let's watch the video.
Yes, and let's see what are the little known patterns on the British street. So let's watch it.
All around Britain, you'll find this tactile paving. It's to help blind and partially sighted people find their way around. And here's the clever part, and the part that almost everyone who is fully sighted will never have noticed. There are different patterns for different situations.
Very few people see nothing at all. That's important to say. Only about 3%. Some people have light perception, some people have a bit more vision, some people have a limited field of vision, some people have poor central vision but good peripheral vision. Essentially think of partially sighted people with enough vision to be able to get around safely and independently, blind being below that threshold.
Dots in a grid like this mean a dropped curb for crossing the road.
Okay.
If it's red, or at least it's supposed to be red, then it's a crossing with lights or something else to stop traffic. These designs are for partially sighted people too, so bright contrasting colours are a good idea. There is a small amount of tactile paving here used as a marker to flag up where the crossing is. And then, nearer the road, it's for the full length of the crossing, so you can work out where it is. And it's important to balance marking the crossing against not using too much tactile paving, because someone with arthritis can find surfaces like this painful to cross.
Navigating around an unfamiliar area is always a bit scary, to be honest, because obviously the traditional visual clues, landmarks, etc. aren't there. It helps a lot if clues are consistent, so confusion can certainly occur when that isn't the case. It's very, very important that these adaptations that are there to help us are actually there to help us and are actually there.
This is so nice, and this is something really amazing to think about these people in such a detail. Like there are like things made for blind people, but then there are these partially blind people who cannot see, like who have blurred visions, or you have some they cannot see some colors or some or the other things. So you have made this thing, and the thing is like then also you think about the people with arthritis. Like okay, we cannot build too much of it or like too big of it, because then people with arthritis will have pain in crossing it. So like the attention to detail in each and everything and thinking about all the people is so like good to see. And like how like he's even praising about it, like okay, this is one of the big things. And when we go to a place that is not familiar to us and that does not have this, then it is a bit of a shock to us, because it is something we have to acclimatize to. But then we have these things which just help us, like okay, now this thing is coming, so this means that we are going downhill. So this is really amazing.
There in the way that we expect to see them.
But there are other patterns too. Offset dots mean there's a train platform ahead, a big chasm you could fall into. Lozenge shapes mean a tram platform, something close to street level that could run you over. Stripes across the path mean there's some steps ahead or a couple of other things that could trip you up. Stripes along the path mean a safe route to follow. And if there's a path that's half for foot traffic and half for bicycles, well, the direction of the stripes tells you which side is which.
Boroughs in London, councils outside of London seem to be moving more towards aesthetic considerations, i.e. they're changing the colour to darker grey so it blends in more. By definition, if it blends in more, it's harder for partially sighted people such as myself to actually see, or obviously in a more dire situation, people can find themselves in the road not knowing they're in the road simply because those essential clues aren't there.
And sure, all this is tricky to get right. The design standards for how this is laid down are literally 100 pages long.
Wow.
But so are the design standards for everything about public infrastructure. Having reliable rules that everyone understands is important
This is the
when there are
kind
tons
of
of metal
development we Indians
speeding
need
past you.
in our country.
Thank you very much to the team from the Royal National Institute of Blind People for all their help. You can check out their YouTube channel here.
Actually, Vanchika said it right. Like, we people dream about such kind of development because, like, this does not cost a lot. You know, you build the pavement and you have all these streets in India too, and you have all these like side paths in India too to walk. But you know, this attention to detail does not cost a lot, but it asks your brain to do something about people, like do something about partially blind people, do something about all the other kind of people, so that they have all the help. Like, I was like very shocked to see all the other kinds of variations, like that one variation that okay, there is one path for bicycle, then there is one path for walking, and then there is different. So for that, in one side there is vertical patterns and one side there are horizontal patterns, so you could easily define which path is what. So wow, and even that longitudinal shape of things is there, so it means that, so some or the other way they are taught, okay, if you feel this in your feet or feel something around, then it means that this is going to happen. And this is such a good thing, like they just do not have to like have a stick around and have to bang into everything, and they have to like ask people about it, like what is happening and what is not. So this is something very good attention to detail, and I have to say, like, this is something we look up to as Indians, that okay, this developed world is doing something for all the type of people,
Yeah.
and we should follow it.
And seriously, I also like this video, and I was like that this should be happen in India too. And I do believe that it is very difficult for the blind people and for the people and for the handicapped people to cross the road, especially in the cities like India, especially in the cities like Delhi or in the Mumbai, because it is so crowded city and it is very difficult for them to cross the road without taking anyone's help. So I do think we should also introduce such kinds of patrons into the India, because it would be very very helpful for the citizens of India. And yeah, I really like this video. And yet we have to say that India is also developing, because firstly there was not walking side, there was not the walking side for the road, but now it is there in the India, in the mostly cities. And also there is bicycle riding a road. But if we introduce such kinds of pattern in the road, then it would also be very beneficial for the handicaps. So yeah, I really enjoy this video, and to be honest, this was so informative video for me.
Yes, and the biggest part was to like to know that there is a 100-page standard book, so standard rule book that everybody has to follow, so that there is no variation all around the country. So literally, we need to steal that book and start working on it, because as soon as possible, because this will help a lot of people. So what do you guys think about it? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.